Hello, dear friends. I have some exciting news to share, and I'm kind of wondering, why have I not shared this before? Well, I guess that doesn't matter because I'm sharing it now, and that is that in 2 weeks, on September 10th of this year, 9 members of my family are going to be beatified in the little southeast town in Poland called Markowa. It's about 2-3 towns over from Pruchnik, which is the town where my dad was born and grew up. And these family members are the Ulma family that you may have read about. You may have seen their story circulating a little bit, because it's a beautiful story. So let's backtrack. Victoria Niemczak, the cousin of my great-grandfather, married Józef Ulma. And they were both very faithful Catholics who loved each other and loved their faith. And they were known by the community to be those that would always help anybody in need. Well, they, as the normal course of things went, after they married, they had children, but they had child after child after child. They ended up having 5 children at the time that the unspeakable horrors of the Second World War were happening, where the Nazis were just ravaging all of Europe and Poland in particular. And they had these laws set up that if anybody were to help a Jewish person to escape, or anybody were to harbor a Jewish person, they would pay for it with their lives. And yet, this young couple with 5 young children decided that every single human life is worth protecting. And so they took in 8 Jewish people, right? A family already full of 7 decided to take in 8 more, not as a burden, but as a blessing and a gift. Well, for 2 years, from 1942 to 1944, the Ulma family harbored these 2 Jewish families. During that time, Józef and Victoria were able to welcome in Maria, their 6th child, and then also were pregnant with their 7th, a baby whose name is only known to God. Sadly, on March 24th, 1944, Józef, Victoria, their 7 children, 1 still in the womb, Victoria was 7 months pregnant, were found out. Their house was surrounded by Nazi soldiers. All 8 of their Jewish brothers and sisters whom they were harboring were killed. Józef and Victoria were killed in front of their children. And then their children were killed. This would be among the most tragic stories ever told if there weren't a resurrection, and if martyrdom were not what wins the palm of victory for those who were able to give their lives in love and then enter into the eternal embrace of love himself. And so rather than being victims of the great tragedy of human wickedness, Józef, Victoria, and their children become heroes in the great story of selfless love, modeled supremely by our Savior. So that's their story. They were able to give their lives, not just in one heroic moment, but over 2 years of this family unity, of saying, you know what, we're in this together to save our extended family. People that, from the outside might be of a different race, that from the outside might be of a different religion, but who bear the image and likeness of God himself, and so must be loved and protected. As I reflect on the Ulma family, I think of family unity, right? That they had to work together to keep this secret. And yet they did, out of love for these families that they were harboring. Now, I'm going to have the great joy and honor of being present for the beatification ceremony on September 10th. But I don't want to be there alone. And I don't want to just take my intentions. I want to take your intentions too. So I've set up a little Google form that you can fill out with your name and your prayer request or your intention. And I would especially like to pray for families in need of greater unity. Maybe family members who feel estranged or who have left the faith or who have a great need of intercession for whatever reason. I'm gonna attach that Google form to this video wherever I post it. And I would love over the next 2 weeks for you to fill it out and let me carry with me your intentions to this beatification mass so that the Ulma family doesn't have to be the only heroic one. Instead, we can model their example or take the example that they modeled and apply it to our own lives and seek their intercession for our own families. All right, well, please pray for me in my safe travels, and I will be praying for you and your intentions. God bless you and goodbye.